Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your reading. This is for Sun, Moon, Rising, or Ascendant, and Venus. This is your Lilith reading. So I did one for Capricorn, and now I'm doing one for Sagittarius. So working backwards from Capricorn. So this reading was a bit trickier to do in the sense of, I had to really get into that Lilith mindset and step up, because it was too easy to see these cards. It's like getting one phone call and the signal's strong, and then get another phone call and then the signal is very static, kind of like that. So being able to really get in that Lilith mindset and see things as the reading is supposed to be, in the sense of a Lilith reading. So once I did get into that mindset, there were a few different things I noticed in the cards, or should I say I saw in the cards. But what really caught my eye was at the back of the deck. At the back of the deck, the Page of Cups and the Three of Swords. But when I saw the Three of Swords, I kept imagining the Three of Swords from the Light Seers deck. But here you do have the Eight of Wands and the Lovers. So with the Eight of Swords, so again, trying to keep in that Lilith mindset, not to lose track of the reading. So another tricky thing about this reading is this could be past energy, future energy, or advice energy, or something or something else, or just like clarification energy, if that makes sense. So this could be either clarifying something or whatnot. But I'm just going to say what I'm seeing. So I might not clarify what exactly I'm trying to say throughout the reading. So for example, I might say here, being careful of attachments, so I might say be careful of attachments, but that's in the sense of an advice. So for some of you, this may be an advice. For some of you, this may be more of future energy. Maybe you're going to be attached to someone in the future, or this could be more of just a simple message without much else, right? Like piggybacking on it. So just telling you may be attached to someone at the moment. But I'm not gonna try, because if I keep clarifying what I'm saying each time I say something, this reading is gonna be very, very long. So please do keep all that in mind, and please do definitely take this reading as you will. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and apply this to your own situation and to yourselves. And the other thing that was a bit tricky about this reading, so the context, I mentioned before, and then the Lilith mindset, and also the fact that everyone has, like, you all have different Liliths. So this is a Sagittarius reading, but your Lilith may be somewhere else. I'm not sure if you already know, there are some sites you can use to check. Your Lilith may be, for example, in Aquarius, in Sagittarius, it could be in Scorpio, or somewhere else. So the message might be different for you. I was thinking of doing like a specific Lilith reading, so Sagittarius Lilith reading, then Gemini Lilith reading, but some people may not know their Lilith signs, so I'm just sticking with the typical Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Sagittarius, and so on with other astrological signs. For those who don't know where their Lilith sign is. So that was a very long intro, which I may have to repeat another 10 times. So Eight of Wands, as I was mentioning with the attachment stuff, you have here two red ribbons around these wands. So I do see that as maybe being attached to the words of someone or to certain information, because Eight of Wands is news, is information, is arrivals as well. I do see that as arrivals. It's messages. And with the ribbons around it, I do see that as either seeing hope in those things or being attached to people's words. So yeah, seeing hope in those things, or especially with hope of the flowers blooming on the wands, so either seeing hope in those things or being attached to it. Or for some of you, there could be some importance to these words. But also because the color's red, there is a darker energy to it, you could say, like that Lilith energy seeping onto it. So seduction, for example, seduction, I guess seduction is like the main thing that comes to mind with this particular reading and the color red. Let me just move this along so it's closer. So it could be for some of you, it's more about being seduced or seducing someone else. For some of you, it's more about being attached to to a specific person or certain people's words, or even maybe the things you see or read about. So the information you take in, being attached to it, and not just attached to it, but attached to it with a certain feeling. So for example, okay, just as an example, this is just an example. The example, like, it could be anything for some of you, but as an example, let's say you read about your Lilith sign and then you become a bit worried because of the stigma of Lilith. So that's, I guess you could kind of say, being attached in a fearsome way to that message, to that information that you consume. But that's just an example that I tried to come up with quickly. It could be something else completely. It could be quite a few different things, actually. It could be a combination of things as well. It could be both the attachment and the seduction. So then with the lovers as well, you see here she has a ribbon, 2 ribbons coming off her dress. So that's the second thing that brought my attention to this attachment sense. So it could be, because the lovers isn't just about love and relationships or angelic guidance in this card's case. It's also about giving up one thing for something else or for someone else. So I guess it's like the hangman, but in a more Romeo and Juliet sense, to me at least. Again, I don't know, like, maybe if you've watched my other videos, but you are free to interpret these cards in your own way. If you want to, you can completely disregard everything I'm saying and just, like, it could be that my job was simply to bring these cards out here for you to see. I don't say that as much now, since I usually just leave it in the description box to make the intros shorter. But yeah, so you can, if you want to, interpret these cards in your own way and completely ignore everything I'm saying. It could be, like I said before, my role was simply to bring out these cards for you to see, and then you use your own knowledge, your own intuition to draw out your own messages. Especially since this is a general reading, so I may not be able to cover your own message, and there may be something that you pick up faster than I do, or that maybe I completely miss and you pick it up. So yeah, attachment to certain things, the words people say. Trying to think of another example that's a bit better than what I said with Lilith, but there's an example I can give, but I'm not sure how to word it. So again, the lovers, it's also about, I don't know if self-sacrifice is the right word, with the lovers. It's also giving you like honeymoon couple vibes. So it's not just about attachment with this card, it's, what's that word? Like wrapping yourself, like kind of like a snake in a way, wrapping yourself around someone and not letting them go. And when they want that freedom, kind of like squeezing them tighter. That kind of energy as well is kind of like surrounding this card a bit. But another thing I wanted to mention was the aspect of freedom. So there's, with these 8 of Wands, they are very fast moving cards, but they're also, I guess, kind of free. Although their destination is like they move in one direction. They're not like a car you can drive and they move everywhere. These 8 of these Wands move in one direction, and when they land, unless someone picks them up again and throws them again. I forgot why I mentioned that. Yeah, I forgot why I mentioned that. There was a reason why I mentioned that, but I forgot now. But with the ribbons on her clothes, so there is also an aspect of freedom, since they're free in the wind. Although they are attached to her, they are free to wave around in the wind. So for some of you, maybe this sort of letting someone go. So for some of you, especially if this is like an advice sort of thing for you, it could be maybe, okay, especially if it's an advice or a future thing, it could be maybe that you will be letting someone go, or your Lilith is trying to tell, or I don't know if Lilith will tell you to let someone go. I feel like Lilith is more the one that will tell you not to let them go. So for some of you, this could actually be like Lilith telling you not to let someone go. Although I'm not sure if like listening to your Lilith is... So this is the other challenging thing about this reading. Like, Lilith is like the side that draws you into your darker urges. where usually you'd want to what's the word? Not give in to those urges, not give in to those tendencies. You'd seek some sort of balance at least. So that's the other tricky thing about this reading, not trying to deliver bad advice, basically, on the basis that this is a message from your Lilith reading. So for some of you, I am seeing like hitching a ride from someone on someone, but not exactly hitching a ride, but like traveling with someone. So it could also be attachment to memories. Oh yeah, so the thing about like wrapping around someone and not letting them go, that could be unhealthy energy. But I don't know, because like everyone's lives are different. Everyone has a different story, so it's a tricky territory to sort of maneuver around. Because with Capricorn's reading was a bit different, because I didn't exactly see a reading with Capricorn's one. I didn't exactly see a message, but several pieces of a puzzle. I didn't see the whole puzzle, but several pieces of a puzzle that I just like put out there because it was very fascinating. So like I said, do take this reading as you will. It's a bit tricky to maneuver around, and like being careful with what I say, since it is a Lilith reading. Lilith is again like dark urges and stuff like that. Although I don't know. So at the bottom of the deck, so I'm gonna like step away from these two cards and then move on to the bottom of the deck. You have the Page of Cups, so curiosity. So this card is about exploring your curiosity, being open-minded, maybe even adventuring to new places. And it doesn't have to mean that you do that now. It could be what you've done before or what you're going to do, what you should, maybe advice of what you should do later on. And it doesn't have to be like literally going somewhere else, but could be new topics, could be new areas of yourself, could be exploring new territory. Like for example, this reading for me would be exploring new territory. Then here it is. So the Three of Swords was the other one that caught my attention, this one. I did imagine it as the Three of Swords in the Light Seers deck, where the strings are attached to this heart and attached to a tree where it's suspended. The heart is suspended, I think, to the trees. And it's like the heart was squeezed by the ropes. And the ropes are red, like in this wand, on the ribbons in this wand. So that's another thing that made me think of freedom a lot. Freeing your heart. So this could be freeing yourself. More than freedom from someone else. For some of you, maybe someone else is having this snake-like hold on you, and you're being called to free yourself. So then, curiosity, exploring your curiosity, being open-minded, and expecting the unexpected. So, like they say, even expecting a fish to pop out of your cup. Is what this card is about. But you see the shadow created by the water, by the girl in the water. There's a shadow created here. So I feel like, I don't know how to put it. It's like maybe for some of you it could be about sometimes your shadow self, your maybe like your Lilith self pops up out of nowhere, or maybe this is a future message for some of you where you may have to sort of address your Lilith self because of this shadow and this Page of Cups, so the unexpected, and then the shadow in the water. And again, water is that emotional energy of how you feel, how you deal with other people's feelings and things like that. So that could be what you're going to have to deal with, that emotional sense and Lilith sense. Maybe that's what you have already been dealing with. Maybe some of you in your charts have a Lilith moon aspect as well, or Lilith fourth house aspects, either one, since the fourth house is Cancer's house. Is it? Yeah. So yeah, and with the rock, I'm seeing like obstacles that can be overcome, because water can just maneuver around rock. So I'm really paying attention to that shadow in the water cast by the girl. So I guess it's like a darker innocence, maybe. Not sure how else to like word what I'm trying to say. So I'm just gonna like put words out there, and hopefully you can, maybe your intuition helps you put the words together, or there's a meaning in the word somewhere for you that you are able to pick up on. Not sure how else to put it. Like I mentioned with Capricorn's puzzle piece. Oh yeah, so the Three of Swords as well. So that's talking about pain, heartache, I guess hurtful words, hurtful actions. So it could be someone else's actions, could be your own actions. With the Page of Swords, so 2 pages, with the Page of Swords at the top of the deck. And when I first saw this card, I started thinking about, so I meditated on it for a little while, and for me it was more a message of ego. So ego and mental dominance. So wanting to dominate someone else mentally. So I guess similar to this child. So because someone's a child, feeling superior to them, intelligently, or even if it's not about a child, maybe how someone looks or their education or things like that. So feeling superior to someone else due to maybe educational background, experience, maybe how they talk, how they think, or age as well. So feeling superior to someone because of those things. So it could be maybe advice to be careful of those things. Could be like your Lilith just wants you to acknowledge that maybe you have those personality traits. Some of you, not all of you. Maybe for some of you it's more that a future energy maybe you might do in the future, like not something you do all the time, maybe just pops up, like I said, unexpectedly. Things like this. Especially in like love, because you do have the lovers here. So feeling superior to someone, a partner, romantic partner, based on their background or their age or whatnot. So that could be like, I guess, a warning, advice to be careful of that in terms of love. Maybe to avoid this. Not for all of you. Don't want to scare anyone. Again, remembering to expect the unexpected. I feel like this is like an everyday energy, expect the unexpected. Like the wheel of fortune is constantly moving. I try to remind myself that every day the wheel of fortune is constantly moving. And then lastly, because I think I got out 2 cards from the bottom of the deck, 2 cards from the top. 7 of Pentacles, so patience. Yeah, I guess patience and reaping the rewards of the benefits. So yeah, hopefully this like helped in some way. I was trying to be very careful of how I did this readings because this is a Lilith reading and it could like take a weird turn as well. Turn out to be like, I don't know. But what really, really grabs my attention with this reading that I really want to point out, the shadows here and the ribbons on here, around the wands, and the ribbon from her dress as well. So those was it 3 things are really catching my attention. So maybe there's a message there for you. And this necklace caught my attention as well with the eagle. So yeah, I'm going to leave this here. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this resonated. Also being careful of your words. Just remember, it's like being careful of harsh words. That's why I said to avoid this, so not to hurt someone's feelings. Not to avoid a breakup, but to not hurt someone's feelings. So I wasn't talking about a breakup with this card. I was talking more about emotions. Just to clarify. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hopefully this helped. And again, please do follow your intuition. With all the messages that have been said, please do trust yourself above, like, well, not just trust yourself, but trust your intuition, basically. To trust your intuition. And again, you can look at these cards in your own way. These are all the cards that came up today for you.